Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. It's Mary Jane. If you guys can please do me a favor and hit the like button, it'd be greatly appreciated. It'll help my channel grow. I'm trying to get my channel to grow. If you can hit that like button, you can hit that share button and share the videos so my videos can show up in the YouTube algorithm. And basically, I can get more exposure. My channel can grow. It'd be really greatly appreciated. So let's talk about Love and Hip Hop. New York, season 9, episode 7. Sorry the video's late. One of my pipe bust. My whole basement flooded. Things got destroyed. Water had to be pumped out. The pipes are not fixed yet. Hopefully they'll be fixed by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I'm dealing with insurance claims and just trying to salvage what is left in the basement that didn't get soaked up with water, flooded out. I'm like, are you kidding me? So let's get started. So let's talk about, Yandy and Infinity. It's a great story. It's a great storyline, even though it's kind of reenacted. Infinity does have her own YouTube channel with Yandy, and they document the whole journey of the adoption. And Yandy actually adopts Infinity. Yandy wigs that wig is crazy. So she actually adopts her, but it also hopefully brings light to a lot of kids getting mistreated. I don't think it's going to change anything in the system, but maybe to give a kid hope, and maybe someone that is a foster parent or thinking about adopt kids would treat the kids good, because all kids that are in foster care system or in group homes are not bad. As you can see, Infinity is a really nice young girl, really decent, really smart. She's well behaved, well mannered, she's thoughtful, she's kind, she's emotional. She's emotional towards the kids. She's helpful, she's courteous. Like, she is a good young lady. And so maybe her journey and what she's going through, just because you're in foster care doesn't mean that your life is over and you have to go down a dark road. So I think that was really good. And then it seems like everybody's getting on Sydney Star. Like, her music is trash. They don't like it. Her boy Byron is like, I don't like it. People are like, your music is trash, girl. Like, your music's trash. And it's just like, damn. Like, I've never seen them be so frank about somebody's music that is trash on any of Love and Hip Hop shows. Usually they hide it. Unless Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, they was trash with Amber Diamond. They was telling her music was trash, but they did make it sound better. So we'll see how that goes. And then Nia Lee dissing her, like, it looked like she got a Caesar on top of her head, and then the corn braids coming down, and she's dissing, Sydney Star's wig. But the dress that, Nia Lee put on Sydney Star did look nice. So we'll see how it goes. It seems like they're being very tough on her because, Sydney Star has thin skin. If you're gonna be in the music business, you're gonna have to have thick skin, because people gonna come for you all day, every day. That's just how it is sometimes, especially on social media. So we'll see how that plays out. And we got Safari doing his little sex toy. He gonna go all the way through it. People can imagine and pretend like they're Safari and carry, and put a strap on and all this other stuff. I'm like, Safari knew what the strap was. He knew he knew everything. He was like, people gonna be thinking like they're me. They're gonna have a size of your penis. So Safari's thinking like, I don't know if I should do it. Like, women sell sex all the time. So if you want to sell sex, sell sex. How many rappers, reggae artists, or R&B singers dildos would you guys like to have? I don't know. I don't deal with dildos. But there's a lot. It's a $1 billion industry. And some people would love to have a replica of their favorite artist's penis, So it is what it is with that situation. And Joe, seeming like he's emotionally unavailable when it comes to sin. It seems like he's pushing her to go get help somewhere else. But right now he can't focus on helping her because he's trying to provide and take care of the family. He doesn't want the family to crumble, fall apart. And he knows how bad depression is, but he's not actually working along with sin with her depression. And that'll probably help her a lot, but it's probably more stress on him. So that's why he's sending her to Remy Ma. And then now we see that he wants her to go to therapy and actually get some help for the postpartum depression. Like, she can't just fix herself. She actually really need to get help, and that's what he's trying to say. That's what he's trying to do with the thing. I was like, And why they trying to insult our intelligence? Like, they're gonna be filming, this show where Yandy's actually breaking the law, and she's actually on TV and stuff like that. Like, she's, at the time, she was still ward of the state, so they have to get permission, they have to get releases, and all that other stuff, especially to tell her personal information, especially say that her foster parents were not good, because people that know her probably know the foster parents as well. So we know know that it's crazy that Jonathan's the only one that's like, Yandy, you kidnapping. So, but I guess they wanted to reenact out the scene so we can know that it is illegal to do that or whatever. But I've known people to harvest or to help and shelter kids that, you know, were in the system and was abused and mistreated. And they didn't get in trouble. But that was back then and this is now. So, that's pretty cool. And then Jonathan's still worried about Anais. Anais is MIA. She's somewhere else. Jai Quay's writing music, getting the beats together. Rich is just chilling. You know, it's just like, okay, what's going on? What's going on with this episode? There's nothing really going on. But they are bringing attention to, you know, postpartum depression too as well. And the state system. I mean, and the state and, you know, child care, foster care, and group homes too as well. That, you know, some women, you know, sometimes they don't know that they have, you know, depression or are dealing with postpartum depression where they think they can fix themselves when they actually need to go talk to somebody and get some guidance. And I don't think Remy had that much time or, you know, all the way there. But when you know, Sin was talking to Remy and Sin said was like, I'm scared to have my kid around any nanny and all this other stuff. And she was like, I would have to shoot somebody. I was like, why are you going to say shoot somebody in front of Remy? You know she went to jail for shooting somebody. I was like, oh, that's a low-key dig. So we start off the episode with the state of the culture. You know, Remy Ma and Joe Buttons and two other hosts are on that show. It's actually a good show. I haven't watched it in recent time. And actually, you know, they talk about Eminem. And basically, Joe talks to Remy Ma if he can actually talk to, you know, Sin about, you know, getting help about dealing with the postpartum depression, what the steps to take, and basically trying to steer her in the right direction to show her where she needs to go and give her some support to help her, because Joe feels like it's too much and he feels like he got to focus on work. And if he doesn't do what he needs to do to get the bag, they'll be in the poorhouse and they'll be back on Skin Row. Well, Joe Buttons was never on Skin Row. So, but also Sin needs to take some accountability and some responsibility too as well. Knowing that she's depressed, she has money, she has insurance, she can go to any doctor, she can go get help, she can go to a therapist, she can get the support that she needs. There's a lot of women out here that don't have insurance, don't have good insurance to go to a counselor or a doctor, see a therapist, or they have too many children where they don't even have the free time, and they also work and they go to school at the same time, and they're suffering from postpartum depression too as well, and they just can't get to a doctor. You know, Sin, she's not working, you know, she's free, you know, she has to push herself too as well, because she got to care about herself more than anybody else. And plus, now that she's a mother, she has to step up to the plate too as well, and not depend on Joe, not depend on anybody, and just put her child first. And, you know, she started off talking about that, you know, she's going to be eating right. She's been watching videos and stuff like that. Take it a step further and go get some help and see somebody. And she actually does. So that's good, because, you know, what Joe being involved with her depression and trying to help her too as well is wonderful. You never husband to do that. But it also kind of, you know, mess up some boundaries, and it makes your partner can see you in a different light, where like when things go well, they go back to that point where, you know, you basically, you know, in a web of wee and you're not all there, and you know it could actually damage your relationship. So it's actually wonderful that he's insisting for her to get help instead of trying to counsel her and tell her what to do and how to do it, because he's been through that. And plus, Joe doesn't want to get depressed again, because then it could lead to him doing drugs again, and he don't want to do that too as well. But I believe Joe and Sin's storyline is just for show. We really ain't gonna get nothing serious out of them, but we do get something from Sin. We find out that she was abused, taken advantage of when people used to babysit her. So that's the reason why she doesn't want a nanny, because she doesn't trust anybody with her child, because she was hurt and she was taken advantage of as a child, and someone's supposed to protect her and they didn't, and she didn't want to ultimately do that to her child. So we get that. So we get, you know, Yandy and we see Affinity. They're basically chilling, and basically Yandy's telling us about how she met Infinity, you know, at one of her mentor programs, and she just really liked this young girl that changed numbers. The young girl, you know, Infinity, she's close to, you know, Yandy kids, they get along. You know, she's like an extra addition to the house, and she's helpful to the house too as well, and she's a breath of fresh air too as well. So, you know, Yandy got the means and the money. So like if you got the means, you got the money, and you got the space, and you have the mental capacity, why not go out and adopt? Why not adopt kids? Why not be a foster parent if you can? especially to young black kids that don't get adopted a lot too as well. They go through the whole system from whatever time they're there until they age out. So it's wonderful when we can take care of our own kids and our and also just go out there and get some extra kids and take care of them, because they ain't all bad. And basically you can change the world too by changing 1, 2, 3, 4. You never know what they're gonna grow up to be and what they're gonna do in life. So if you can do it, so, and if you want to do it too as well. So we get that situation. Then we get Jacquay, we get Safari, we get Rich Dollars. They're buying tacos, chicken tacos, beef tacos. Safari's over there dancing because he got the food. And Jacquay's looking at him like it's weird. Rich was like, who you talking to? Who you getting loud with? Rich is just like looking like, what's going on? Like, Safari's like, I got, the first they talk about, Jacquay's, a modeling deal with Sheen John. He's wearing the underwears around. I've never seen, Jacquay in his underwears. I probably did, but I just don't remember. And see how he looks in, boxers or tidy whities or whatever. And so we have that situation. But I don't know if Jacquay is bisexual or he's on a DL or what, because they still haven't touched on that issue with Sophia the Body and Cayenne talking about his sexuality. So it would be nice to have some clarity on that. If he would like to give us clarity, it's up to him if he wants to, because we could just think whatever we want to think, So moving on from that, we get Safari talking about he got this toy deal because a sex tape of his leaked, and we know it did not leak. Safari leaked it himself. And now he got a deal from the dildo company. They want to mold his penis and make it a household name. So when you open your drawer, you got Safari. You unzip your pants, you got Safari in there if you want to buy it and purchase it. And they're basically like, Rich is like, why would you go there? You're like really getting there. I don't even know why Blueface is in my slideshow. I don't know what's going to be coming up. So forgive me for that. So, Rich Dollars is like, yo, why would you want to do that? You're just getting your rap career started. It's just bumping. It's getting lit, and now you want to sell dildos and stuff like that. Well, women sell their body too as well. I mean, they sell like a sex symbol or whatever, but I know it's different, for men, because people not going to want to really listen to, especially men, like he got a dildo line, just crazy thinking. Like, whatever revenue that you can make money and get money, support you, your family, and raise your kids, and help out people, then you get your money. People gonna judge you, whatever. If he has a bang, if he has a hit, people still listen to his music. I believe you just gotta have a hit. That's all you need is a hit, or have somebody or a good beat. You gotta have a beat. If you don't got a beat, you ain't got nothing. Or you gotta be popular and everybody like you if you trash. So we have that. Safari's like, feeling a little bit, like, okay, why are they saying this like that? Then they start to talk about Sydney Star, talking about like her music was trash, it was garbage, it was horrible the way she rapped. Jacquay, gave Sydney Star the beat, and Sydney Star writing on the beat was just too much. Sydney Star didn't come up with music, and this is her last chance. And if Sydney Star don't get it right, then it's over. They're done. It's finito. Well, it's gonna be done finito, because I don't know how you're gonna change that around. I think Sydney Star need more development and more practice in the studio with somebody practicing on Sydney Star's tone and voices and how to deliver. They're not practicing on delivering the music for Sydney Star. So we have that situation. Then we got Remy Ma. Then we got Sin Santana. They sit down and basically it goes from postpartum depression to talking about, you gotta spend some time with Joe. Put the phones away, spend 2 weeks together, whatever. So it seems like Sin, she's not really saying that she has postpartum depression. It's just that she wants to spend time with Joe. She wants attention, but she has two issues. She wants to spend time with Joe. She wants to be around Joe. She wants to feel that he's attracted to her, that he likes her, and he's supportive of her too as well. And then, Sin has the issue where she does have the postpartum depression that she has to deal with too as well. But she's combining both problems together, where she's making the most easier one to fix. If I can just get Joe to spend time with me, I'll be all right. Everything will go back to normal. But her hormones are very different now, so it's not going to go back to normal until she fix her and get to where she wants to be at. Because the thing about it is she gained baby weight. Joe likes the stripper type, flat stomach, big butt, big boobs. He don't like no big girls like that. At least I haven't seen him with any, unless it was all curved and like an hourglass figure a Coca-Cola bottle with the curves. The old Coca-Cola bottle, not the new ones. So with that situation, she's feeling insecure too as well, especially him not wanting to have sex with her, even though, he's working 2 jobs. He's probably stressed, probably stressed and going over things in his head, what he's going to say, how he's going to do this, keeping up with stories, keeping up with this, keeping people entertained, and being there on time. And there's a lot of pressure too as well. So with that situation, he's probably not as sexual as he want to be. And then seeing, his child's mother not being the woman that he actually started to date or fell in love with, it's more of a reason for him to back up and get away too as well. So we have that situation. And so Sin takes from the conversation, I just need to spend more time with Joe. Maybe 2 days out of a week. 1 day every 2 weeks, take the cell phones, the internet, get it out the way. But we know Joe has proposed to Sin, and they're going to probably get married. I know a lot of people are mad at Sin because of the statements and the comments that she made. It's always like that. Anybody you find out, they got something to say. You never need to be surprised or shocked when someone says something that is very, detrimental to somebody else's culture. Because they don't understand the culture, they don't know the culture, they don't get the culture, they just want to be a part of the culture. So we have that situation. So then we have, Sydney Star, she's in the studio, she's working on her music, and her boy Byron comes in, and basically he hears the music and it's trash. And she's kind of like giving up, she's feeling defeated, she don't want nobody to stop her dream, but she just been rapping, this is something brand new. So she has to give it time. Sydney Star has to give it time, and she has to practice more. And then you'll see, what, most likely they'll bring in auto tunes. They'll bring in things to, actually help her out, sounding better. And so then moving on from that, we get, Safari. He goes to see the Black Love couple, Remy Ma and Papoose. I think she already had the baby and everything, and she's doing her damn thing. It is what it is. Papoose and Remy is not feeling Safari's sex toy line. Papoose said it looks bad. It's not a good look. Like, why are you even doing that when your rap career is coming off? It's coming off the ground. You're jumping off the porch, and you're going to go with a sex toy. It's a bad look. That's not something that we do in hip-hop. Well, maybe it's going to change now. Maybe we're going to have some more dudes being more sexy and getting dildos in their names if they got the package. Even if you got a small package, I guess people like small, big, medium dildos, right? They got all different kinds. So we got that situation, and Safari's feeling a certain type of way. And then Remy asked him, "Did you read your contract?" He was like, "Nah, I didn't read my contract. I sent it to the lawyers." Remy was like, "What's wrong with you? It's like 2019, 2018 with this film. And you don't read your own contract?" I read my contract. I send my contract to the lawyer, and I keep a copy for myself when I read it. So it shows you that, we see Safari making business moves, but he's not quite paying attention to the most important part, and that's the business, the money, what he's supposed to get on the front and the back, and how much he's going to get, what does this contract entails, what he can do, what he can't do, what they're going to touch. He doesn't know the insides and out. He's depending on other people. So now it's making Safari feel a little bit nervous, feeling a little certain type of way. So he's hoping when he go back that everything will be all good. But in the meantime, in between time, during that conversation, Safari says slow. He's like, "Oh no, it ain't gonna be no like slow thrust type of situation." He said a lot of stuff that he needed to say pause after. Sounds like he was talking about sex, half of his responses, but I think they were responses that was prepared for him to say, because it sounded like sex, like he was trying to have sex, talking about sex in his response. So we'll see how that situation works out. He goes to the dildo place, and he's kind of nervous, but he finds out that he can make 6 figures a month. That's how much sells. So he's like, this ain't a bad idea. And he was like, this is money, son. And then he realized that you can make a lot more money in the sex industry. So he's thinking about it. So is he going to be a store? Then also we get Safari talking about that he wants to get married. He wants to have a child. We know allegedly he's engaged to, Erica Mena. We know Erica Mena was engaged to, Bow Wow. And I think Safari and Nicki Minaj was engaged, but I don't know if Safari and Erica Mena is actually going to actually get engaged, and Safari's actually going to marry her and have kids too as well, because they're both in reality TV show and they're trying to make sure they stay relevant whatever season they might be on. And I don't know if Erica Mena will go back to Love and Hip Hop New York versus going to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood if she's with Safari. It's a better move for her because she won't be around Sin or Joe Buttons. I don't know their relationship, but having her on the show and maybe her bumping into Sin will probably be more interesting than anything. So I don't know if Joe Buttons will feel betrayed that if, Safari got with, Erica Mena, because that used to be his fiance's, girlfriend. My girlfriends. And so we have that situation, and basically we get to Joe. So then we get to Nia Lee. She meets up with Sydney Star. Basically, she tells Sydney Star her wig is whack, her style is whack, her fashion's whack, the way she look is whack. Her clothes that she be wearing be falling off, be ripping apart. She needs to change. She needs to be open. Like, Nia Lee was like, nobody gave a fuck about me. Nobody gave me a second chance. Nobody wanted to work with me. And I'm doing this for you. I was like, damn. Are you just doing this because nobody did it for you? And you want to say you did it? And then Jacquay comes in. He's feeling like, Sydney Star is not appreciative at all. And then Sydney Star starts to rap. It sounds pure. It sounds like pure garbage. It sounds like pure garbage. So, somehow, some way, she's going to have to get better. But she does try on a dress, and when she tries on a dress, it actually looks nice on her. It looked nice. But, Nia Lee was like, I got good style, and Sydney Star, as like, is telling her how to dress is very a touchy situation. So, like, everything with Sydney Star is too touchy, and I think that's the situation that they're trying to work on her to be tough and have tough skin, and knowing that she's gonna be dealing with people that are not gonna treat her with kitty gloves. And then, also Jacquay is like, Nia Lee is actually being artist development. So I don't know how she's developing an artist if she hasn't developed as an artist. Or maybe Nia Lee did develop as an artist. How many albums does she have? So we have that situation. Sydney Star needs more practice. That's what it is. And then we get Joe and Sin. Basically, it goes back and forth with this situation. Joe is realizing that Sin has pushed away her depression and basically just focused on him and her having spending quality time together and leaving the way they're putting their cell phones aside. And she's trying to plead to Joe that she's getting help. She's doing all types of meditation, reading stuff, eating right. And he was like, it's more to that. And so he's kind of confused because he was like, I thought she was going to be working on his depression. She's working on us. Joe, you got to give that girl some time. Peace and out, one love. Oh, no, I'm not done. And then we get to, Jonathan goes to see, Yandy, and he tells Yandy, like, hey, listen, what you're doing is illegal. You're harboring a minor that's a ward of the state. It's trouble. And Yandy finds out that this is a bad decision to do this because she can ultimately lose her kids too as well. The state can come in because it's actually like she's kidnapping and she could be charged with a felony. And so then we learned that Maggie, she's been awarded a state for about 14 till she was like about 17. She lost her mother. That's so sad to hear about Maggie. She already got shot. She was awarded a state. She lost her mother. And, she was in foster care. She was in group homes. It's like, damn, like nobody else could take her. Then from there, she gets shot. Like she had a difficult life. And then you see how she's so close with her brother. Her brother has these debilitating, situations that are going. I think it's the diabetes. He's not walking. He's losing his sight. And it's like she done had a really tough life. You know what I'm saying? So I wish her the best and her brother the best because they lost their mother at a young age. So that means they had to adapt to the world without someone that was supposed to guide them. Peace. And then we get, I'm about to say peace. And so then we get back to, Yandy actually needing to go home and tell Infinity that she's gonna have to drop her back off at the group home because it's trouble. And then we get to see Infinity cry and say, I just want a home cooked meal. I just want somebody to be nice to me. I just want somebody to treat me right. And sometimes these are what all these kids just want, and they'll do right by you. But you got the bad apples. But she was like, why can't I have that? Why can't I just have a heart meal? Somebody to ask me how I'm doing, have my brothers and my sisters, somebody that actually wants me around. And she talks about being mistreated too as well. It's really a touching, sad story, but it had a happy ending. And a lot of people's stories don't have a happy ending. And right now in her life, she's having a happy ending. She has more endings and more happiness to go through. But it's good to see that she had a happy ending. And it's good to see that Yandy took, even though she has kids, she has a boyfriend that is locked up, her children's father, her fiance, but she still took the time to monitor a young girl and actually adopt her too as well. Could have been part of a storyline, but if it was, it totally changed to it. She loves this young girl, and this young girl loves her too as well, and she's gonna give her a good life. Peace. I'm out. One love.